questions. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time on a Wednesday afternoon. Bryant and Brett with you. Lee Aldwin Seabury with us as well. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours and a lot to get to today after a wild Game 1 in the Eastern Conference last night. We'll have to talk a ton about that. We'll have Rob Fisher on in the third hour to talk more about that. Got to make golf picks today with the Charles Schwab Challenge. Tomorrow that kicks off, so plenty to get to today. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well, and you're right. We've got a lot to get to, and that last night was a great game. And again, as we talked about on who we're for, I really don't – I have no preference on who wins. I think Indiana more because they've never won it before. But the Celtics' history and tradition, I'm not averse at all to that. If they got, championship number 18, that they're heavily favored – really all year, and I found my basketball picks.
All right.
And in the preseason, I had Boston over.
Right.
I had Boston over. Now that I found it, it's in the pile of stuff I can't find. How'd that happen?
Man, who knows?
Here it is. I in the preseason, I had Boston over Milwaukee in the East.
Wow.
In the West, I had Denver over Phoenix.
Okay.
And I had Boston over Denver in the NBA Finals.
All right, so Boston's looking good for you right now, and certainly you feel a lot better today with a Boston win. I don't know if anybody would have felt too terrible about it, but you definitely feel better with a Boston win last night than you would have if Boston had lost that game last night.
All right, some high points from the preseason picks. Rookie of the Year, Wemby, everybody had that.
Everybody had that.
Coach of the Year, Mike Malone, missed. MVP, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty good there. Grizzlies 7 seed, 44 wins.
Oh man! Well, I said yesterday I had the Grizzlies like 6 or 7. I had them 6. So
13 and 12 without Ja.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at my my superlatives now. Frank Vogel, Coach of the Year, doesn't have a job anymore, Brett.
Well, when you miss, you need to go all out and miss.
That's right. I mean,
missed by little is just as bad as missed by a lot, isn't it?
Well, that's I guess you can say, because I was trying to make a statement early before the season started. Chet, Rookie of the Year for me. KD, MVP. Desmond Bain, Most Improved Player. Frank Vogel, Coach of the Year. I mean, a full slate of misses. I mean, I couldn't have been more wrong.
Where'd you have Minnesota seated in the West?
I admit. I don't even want to talk.
Don't laugh too hard, because we're going to have a real good laugh when we get to mine.
Brett, I had him 11th.
Well, I barely edged you out. I had him 10th.
So we were right there neck and neck with each other. We didn't think much of Minnesota. That's the great thing of preseason, these preseason rankings.
They're humbling.
They sure are.
Where did you have Indiana in the East? I had them 5. And love Rick Carlisle.
I had them 13.
Okay.
So I didn't like their team when they started the season. Made a lot of trade deadline moves. So
I had the Knicks 4 in the East. I had Boston 1, Milwaukee 2, Miami 3, Knicks 4, Indiana 5, Cleveland 6, Philadelphia 7, Brooklyn 8, Atlanta 9, Chicago 10.
Where did I even have Brooklyn? I don't even see Brooklyn on my list.
Well,
so bad I didn't even put them in there, Brett.
Well, they had to be at least be 15th.
I see. Because I didn't put them as Brooklyn. I just put them as Nets.
Gotcha.
I'm at 7.
West, Denver 1, Phoenix 2, Golden State 3, Lakers 4, Clippers 5, New Orleans 6, Memphis 7, Oklahoma City 8, Sacramento 9, Minnesota 10.
Well,
a little top heavy.
Yeah, we've had better picks before, Brett.
But so everybody had Boston. Everybody had Boston this time yesterday. Everybody had Boston at tip time. Nobody had Boston with 30 seconds to play.
No.
Then Boston wins it in overtime.
I mean, just a crazy game last night. I mean, I was talking to some of my buddies last night, and I was like, "Yo, do y'all realize that the Pacers are winning this game?" And are in full control of it.
Brian, at 115, 110, I'm going, you got it, Pacers. Don't blow this. You got it.
So much so.
And I really didn't have a preference.
Right.
When the Celtics made the comeback, it went, oh, dang. I was
right.
like, okay, great play. Big corner three and a lot of
really
traffic with the opposing bench, breathing down your neck.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, Brett, it was so late. It felt so much of a lock that Indiana was going to win that game that I saw multiple different Twitter pages that are, basketball Twitter pages tweeting out, wow, Indiana steals game 1 in Boston. And it was like, ooh, a little early there.
All zeros.
Got a little early there. So, yeah, just a wild game. I'm hoping tonight's Western Conference game 1 is just as fun because that was a lot of fun last night.
I don't want anybody sending me any congrats on anything until that last out's made,
right.
all zeros, game over, and anything.
Yes.
Don't ever, if you got me, who doesn't have my text number? if you have my text number, don't ever send me, hey, good win until it is a final and until it's in the Lamb's Book of Life.
I mean, here's the thing. You can text me as much as you want after the fact, but just don't do it during the game.
Oh, good win,
exactly.
with 2.5 minutes to play. No.
No, not at all. You want to say something, Alwyn?
Yeah.
Hop on in here.
It kind of stats from a historical standpoint. It kind of reminded me of when the Red Sox, when they were in '86 with the Mets, the Mets put it, "Congrats, Red Sox World Series champs," and and that's kind of how people were saying yesterday on Twitter, like Brian alluded to, congrats to Indiana for stealing game 1. I was like, oh, I even thought they stole game 1.
Oh, Leon, it was worse than that in '86. NBC running the World Series popped up that Marty Barrett had been named MVP of the 1986 World Series, second baseman for the Red Sox, who had hit everything thrown at him in that series up to that point. The NBC cameras were set up in the Red Sox, graphics up, Curse of the Bambino about to be ended. Keith Hernandez was down in the Mets clubhouse drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette when the ball got through Backman. He had to go tearing out of the clubhouse back down the steps to go out and celebrate.
Good Lord.
When I think Ray Knight scored when Mookie Wilson's hit got through Wally Backman or Bill Buckner at first.
Wow, holy cow, that's crazy. But I mean, last night was insane. I mean, from the really start of the end, where Indiana's trying to get the ball in, they don't call a timeout, turnover that led to the shot. I mean, it was wild. I thought the Pacers were going to get it, and we would have been having, I think everybody would have been having completely different conversations today. I mean, it would have been full-blown panic. What's going on with the Celtics? There's a real problem going on with Boston if they had lost that game last night.
It should have been, and instead, mea culpa for all of us yesterday talking about coaching mismatch, Rick Carlisle over Joe Mazzulla, not so much.
Yeah.
I think Joe Mazzulla got a little bit of the best of him down the stretch, and his team certainly executed.
Sure.
Now, his team, veteran laden, been in that position a lot, at home, on the parquet, but Indiana, they blew it. In the curse of the early celebrations, in 2011, before the Cardinals started the comeback, but I think even before Lance Berkman's triple that got over – or David Freese's triple got over the head of the right fielder for Texas. The Rangers, I think they cut to the Rangers clubhouse. I know they had it set.
Yeah.
I know they had it set up, and I've told this story before. That afternoon, yes, the afternoon of Game 6, I'm with a big crew, all-star crew. From here, we were in St. Louis, and there's a very famous wine shop out in Clayton, Missouri, that a lot of those guys wanted to go to. So we go out there and ran into a guy I know from Little Rock who owns about 6 or 7% of the Texas Rangers,
right?
Which that's a significant amount.
Absolutely,
man. That's a pretty good chunk of money. And he's there with his wife, and he's buying champagne, not for pouring over people's head, but good stuff for the celebration. And I asked him, I said, it feels like y'all got us. Would you come on tomorrow morning? I said, where are you staying? He would stay I said, would you come on? And I was in the morning. Dave and I were in the morning and had my room set up as the studio in St. Louis. I said, would you come on and join us? He said, sure will. Well, after the comeback, I texted him that morning. I said, man, I'm not going to put you through this. That was the most grueling loss maybe in the history of sports. And then the Cardinals go on and win it.
Sure.
But be careful on that early text, that early tweet, that early spike in the ball. It can go horribly wrong on you.
Yeah, no, it definitely can. And you mentioned the Cardinals, Brett. Rain playing a big factor in St. Louis last night and today, but another win for the Birds today. How about that?
Got the conclusion of last night's game, the win 3-1, and down 3-0 in this one in a big Nolan Arenado era.
Yeah.
Busted open 2 of those 3 runs, or would have got out. Kyle Gibson pitching pretty good, but right now, in the all-important loss column, in the National League, in the wild card standings on May 22nd. And I know people are riveted to the loss column on May 22nd.
Who is it, Brett?
Who are you?
Exactly.
If you're not riveted by it, I don't think I want to know you if you're not riveted by it. Cardinals tied.
Oh, Brett, don't get me excited. They're back.
In the loss column.
Well, still back, though.
You can make up wins. You can't make up losses.
That's a great point, Brett. And all it needed, what did I say a couple weeks ago? Ollie Marmol gets ejected in Milwaukee. It's what the team needed. I mean, got them back on the right track.
Today, too.
He sure did. So maybe even more
he gets tossed a lot. He barks a lot, doesn't
Brett, he does a lot of talking, that's for sure. And it seems like everything gets under his skin.
It really does.
Which isn't great for a manager.
And I just don't know if he's accomplished enough to bark as much as he barks.
No, probably not. But maybe it's something when you wear those colors, Brett. You wear that logo, and you feel like you have that cachet. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's not Red Shane Dink, Tony La Russa, or Whitey Herzog over there.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
And Mike Shield didn't. Mike Matheny didn't.
No, not at all. And now, I mean, it's so different from kind of what you got used to for 4, 5, 6 years before him, and then now.
And there's so little to really argue about now.
No, especially until this great turnaround in the season where they're now good. I mean, before then, really nothing to argue about. I mean, what are you going to argue about? Your team's not very good.
This is how desperate we are, Brian. They're 21-26, and we're talking about the best stretch of the year.
Look, I don't need to know their record. I just need to know what that loss column looks like.
Just believe what you want to believe.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's selective.
You know what sports is all about?
Selective believing.
You kind of just pick and choose.
That's right. Exactly. That's how I live my life, not just sports. That's just.
I think everybody should celebrate the good stuff.
That's right.
And have that corner covers mentality on the bad. Forget about it real fast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Speaking of baseball, Brett, were you watching in Hoover last night when we had the Egg Bowl on the diamond?
I was and could feel it coming from here to Hoover. And it happened in state with the big walk-off win. Ole Miss eliminated. And now 2 years removed from the dog pile in Omaha, not much sense for Mike Bianco, but I don't think he is, and I don't think he should be in trouble. He was questioned post-game about next year, and he said, ask my boss. I plan on being back. I think he will. I think he should. And, Brian, here's the flaw in kind of all these setups on this. 2 years ago, even after Ole Miss got to Omaha, let's say after they got to Omaha, if somebody had proposed to Ole Miss fans, you can have a dog pile in 2 weeks here and 2 days, whatever it was. Even when it got down to the best 2 out of 3 against OU, you're going to beat OU, but you're not scratching for the next 2 years. Right. Would you take it?
Oh,
what do you think the percentage of taking it would have been?
100 to 0. I think everybody's taking
as close to 100 to 0 as it possibly could get.
Yes.
All right, here's one in the Ole Miss world, in the Tiger football world for this year. Just go to the playoffs. Next 2-3 years could be struggle bus. Could be some 7-5s and some 6-6s in there for both, either Tigers or Ole Miss. What do you think the I accept percentage would be for this year into the college football playoffs?
I think it'd be pretty high.
Close to 100.
Yeah.
Here's the flaw. When you get removed from that and kind of that dopamine, that fun, that buying the gear and wearing it proudly, as you should, when that wears off, you forget you made that deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's about what's happening now, and so everyone's so focused on the now.
Right, I promise you, Dave Woloshin, as my witness, he heard me almost in a Gregorian chant praying, let the Cardinals pull this out with the David Freese home run, and I will never ask for anything again. Well, it's a good thing I hadn't asked for anything again because I hadn't gotten anything in 13 years.
Wow, but you got that.
But I got that.
That's right.
And you forget the deal you make after some tough sledding.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, not the end that they wanted for sure. But man, I'm opposite for you. I thought they had it, and I was like, wow, they're gonna win this game, and then just like that, it was the complete opposite.
Now LSU looks like they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Arkansas and South Carolina playing as we speak, and South Carolina was leading a little bit earlier. I got away from that channel.
I believe we're tied now.
Tied 4-4. Razorbacks got tied. Arkansas playing. I mean, they lose today and tomorrow. They're fine back.
Oh, absolutely. And you're seeing a lot of teams like that in college baseball right now, where these top-ranked teams, it's kind of like, okay, if we win, great. If we lose, who cares? We have this locked up.
You knew who else would be fine by it? LSU.
Oh,
get Arkansas out of there. They'd much rather be taking on South Carolina.
100%. Like you said, the way they've been playing, what they did to Georgia yesterday, today, 11-0 winners in 8 innings over Kentucky. So it's been really impressive these first 2 days.
I think Kentucky went to Super Regionals last year, didn't they?
Oh, Brad, I can't remember that far
So
back.
this isn't out of nowhere for Kentucky
no.
baseball.
Kentucky's a good team, and has been really good this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But you're right. I don't think there's a hotter team in college baseball right now than what LSU has shown these last 2 days. We've got plenty to talk about today. So let me go ahead and give you today's rundown real quick. 3:30 NBA playoffs. We'll get into all the talk of last night. What happened in that game? What does it mean going forward for this series? Also, we'll preview tonight's game between Minnesota and Dallas. 3:45. What was it last week, Brett, where we looked at the Sporting News ranking by Bill Bender, where he ranked every single coach in college football. Well, another Sporting News list has been posted today from Bill Bender. College football quarterbacks, the top 25 college quarterbacks in football right now. We'll take a look at that. Who are at the top? Maybe if Seth Hennigan is on that top 25 list. We'll see. We'll do that at 3:45. 4 o'clock, John Goen from Timber Trust Golf. He'll join us, talk some golf, and make some picks. We've got the Charles Schwab Challenge this weekend, so we'll have to make picks. Back-to-back winners for me. Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I just want to put it out there before John even joins us. Back-to-back winners.
The truth ain't ever bragging.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Brett. I'm glad that I have you in my corner because I know when we get to 4 o'clock, I will not have John in my corner. So we'll talk.
You did it without taking that low hanging Scotty Scheffler fruit.
You know that guy.
You did it with a guy that had never won a major. We kind of chuckled at you when you took it.
Sure did. So hey, we'll talk about that more at 4 o'clock. I'm sure John will not be as
John
friendly
may
with
bring
you
up the very untidy situation with you last week. Very untidy. Very much like Scotty Scheffler in Louisville himself. When you could have been DQ'd from both picks for Ludwig Oberg as a shot, but we didn't strictly enforce it.
Well, I mean, to make up for that, we had to get a winner out there, So I guess there's the pros and the cons, but we'll talk a lot of golf at 4 o'clock. 4:30, we'll talk some baseball, plenty of MLB action to get to. Maybe by then we'll have a Cardinals update if they're back playing. I know a lot of rain.
About 3:25, they say they're going to start back.
Oh, good. Understood. So in just a couple minutes. That's great. 4:45, we get to big number of the day. Brett, I don't want to put your personal information out there, but you've already said you have a good big number today. So
Totally
I'm really
stumbled
looking
into it,
forward
too.
to it. Oh, wow. Even better.
Just my research for this fine radio show to try to entertain our great audience out there.
That's right.
I stumbled into a great big number.
Well, I love that.
It's 6. I'm telling you now, it's 6. There's no way anybody could tie which direction it's going.
All
no
right.
way.
I'm excited. I love when that happens. It's only happened to me once or twice since we've done big number where I just randomly get like a great big number and I come in like I
didn't
wait
even
to
mean
share
to.
this. Oh, that's great.
I went out in one direction and came home in another.
I love that. I love that.
I've done that a couple nights.
Well, it happens, I guess. So we'll do that at 4:45. 5 o'clock, Rob Fisher, he'll join us. Grind City Media, all the Grizzlies television broadcasts, he'll join us. We'll talk some Grizzlies. Obviously, got to talk about Gigi Jackson being on the all-rookie second team, but also a lot of NBA talk with Rob at 5 o'clock. 5:30, we get to what's trending at 5:45. Wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Head out to Family Leisure. Maybe today is not the best weather day. Does not look like summer outside today, but a lot of days this week have looked like summer, have felt like summer, so it's getting closer to that time. They've got great deals on spas, pools, plenty of outdoor patio furniture. So make sure you head out to Family Leisure. Check out all of the great deals. They have some great savings that you can do at Family Leisure to get ready for the rest of the spring and into summer. So make sure you head out to Family Leisure where family and fun come together.
Out at 2120 Whitten Road, and today the weather was bad.
It's still bad out here, Brett.
And all the local TV had to go wall to wall.
Did they? Wow, I didn't know
they
that.
They did, and should, especially after how our area has been hit, most notably last March. And our friends in Wynne, Arkansas, not far from where I am right now. So I don't complain when they do. I know a lot of people kind of sitting around when it's not affecting your area. Why are they showing? And one local weatherman today that they're on our side and they know us so well. He was calling Lepanto, Arkansas, Lepanto.
Well,
you don't know there if you're calling it Lepanto.
No, you don't.
But at least they had the live Doppler up and all too careful. Knocked me out of bold and beautiful today. With everybody
Brett.
going live.
Well, it has. I'll be honest. A lot of people know we're training Lee Aldwin right now, and so I am on the producer side right now. And so most days I can't see outside when we're doing the show, and so I have no idea what's going on. But now I've got this big window in front of me, and so I've just been sitting here looking out the clouds, watching the weather, and seeing what we've got going out here.
That studio side, I promise you, we could have a nuclear attack.
Oh, man.
And you may not know it from that studio
No,
side.
not at all. Not at all.
You wouldn't. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We're Sports Time with Bryant and Brett and Lee Aldwin, and we want you to be a part of it at 901-360-8255. That's the text. That's the talk line, and all our guests will appear at 901-360-8255. Brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin. They're the sponsor of the Text Talk and Guest Line, 901-360-8255. This hour every day brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Give them a call at 901-334-9673. But better yet, stop by the one and only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it's got to be that game from last night. Just an unbelievable start to the Eastern Conference Finals. I said yesterday I wanted the Pacers to test Boston. I wanted this Boston team to be a little more battle-tested when they got to the NBA Finals, because I'm still very confident that Boston is going to win this series and make it to the NBA Finals. And, man, did they get tested last night. A hot start for Boston, they come out extremely hot, and it looked like, okay, here we go again. Boston's going to run away with this one, and it's going to be another easy win. But here come the Pacers. They're able to tie it at the break, and then in the second half, it was an all-out war where the Pacers, they got the upper hand in the fourth quarter, and it looked like they were going to be able to walk away with it. Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, and Pascal Siakam all with 23 points or more in that game. They got good bench play. It looked like they were going to pull the absolute stunner to start that series, but late game situation, it was more Boston that was composed, that were making plays, and they're able to send it to overtime, and then in overtime, a completely different ball game. Boston outscores the Pacers 16-11 in OT to secure that 133-128 win. I know a lot of people were talking last week about Mike Malone in his post-game press conference after Game 7. I guess that was just this week because that was Sunday.
It's very salty.
And where he said it was a stupid question by the reporter. Mm-hmm. Well, did you see the question that one of the reporters asked Jason Tatum last night where he said, Jason, you're up 1-0. What's there not to be happy about? Jason Tatum was like, did you just watch that game? We did not play well. We were just able to get that win. But
1-0's 1-0. I don't think out of line.
I think I don't know. I didn't like the question. Okay. But I think Boston needs to look in the mirror, and I think they'll be fine. I think they'll win this series. But we would have had, and I said this earlier, we'd have had completely different conversations today if they had lost that game. And now it's kind of fine. Oh, look at Boston; they're able to win. Great win for Boston. But Boston needs to tighten up and kind of get back to that Boston that we all know.
They do. That's my top story as well. The Pacers, they blew it. I don't know if I want to use the C word. Did they choke? Y'all tell me. You think they choked?
Maybe.
They collapsed.
Sure did.
That's
collapse.
Another C word. It was bad. It was bad at TD Garden on the famed parquet. But Boston's experience and their home court and Joe Mazzulla, they got the best of Rick Carlisle and the Pacers. This was not a flattering Rick Carlisle moment. He took all the heat post-game. He should have. After Boston gets this kind of scare, we know what they've been like so far in this postseason this year. Home loss to Miami, bulldozer after that. Home loss to Cleveland, totally steamrolled after that. The Pacers, I think, had their opening last night, and they blew it.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story, I got to stay in the NBA because I don't want to speak for everybody. I don't even want to speak for all of us, but I know personally I was more excited for this matchup, Mavs and Timberwolves, than I was for Pacers and the Celtics. And how could you not get even more excited?
It's because we're Western influenced.
Sure. But I also think, you look at these teams and how tough those matchups have been, and I guess the other matchups were fine, but I think the idea of Boston and how much better they are, I think anybody they play is just kind of like, because we were even talking about if they got the Knicks, even at full strength, it was kind of like, yeah, it could be fun. I think Boston, ultimately wins it. This one, I have no idea. I don't know who wins it. And so how could you not be even more excited for this series after watching that game last night? I think that game got us all fired up for some conference finals basketball. So I'm hoping for a really exciting game tonight. Obviously, what this Minnesota Timberwolves team has done with that last series win over the Nuggets, I was so impressed with how they were able to win that on the road.
You have Dallas.
Come back.
Leodwin and I have Minnesota.
You're right. So we're big Luka fans tonight going into that series. But
he's part of my big number.
Oh, interesting. I still don't know where you're going with it, but I like that. But Minnesota, what they did in that last series, extremely impressive, even with Anthony Edwards not scoring the ball in that last game, but being extremely effective. On the other side, you have the Mavericks, who just came off beating the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder that looked like a really good team. This should be a really, really fun series. 7:30 tonight on TNT. I can't wait.
My not top story is what's unfolding this week in college sports and college football. You're seeing 2 conferences now vote unanimously, and you're going to see the other ones in the Power 5, Power 4 rather. They're going to do it as well. We're ever so closer to paying the latest ransom demands around college football. It won't end when you're never going to get the hostage takers completely paid up. Right. And when it shakes out, if we don't get some semblance of peace and financial security, we're going to shake out to about a 40 to 60 team team college football, big-time college football umbrella that they're playing under. You can call it whatever you want. I don't know if it'll be conferences. I don't know if the Big Ten and the SEC would remain. I don't know exactly how all that will look, but I know it's going to shock a lot of people, and it's going to shock some because a lot of people are out there, as I said yesterday, trying to do something that they're really not capable of doing. Yeah. The basketball tournament, very, very well. Well, it will change when you start playing college football like that. That's coming sooner rather than later. I would say in the 2020s, even we're going to see college football down to about 40 to 60 teams. And the reason why you've got so many teams now trying to play FBS. If you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at all the teams trying to play FBS that can't. You want to be mad at somebody, be mad at over 40 bowl games when we really only need about 20.
Well, that's a good point, but you're right. It is a big week in college athletics and college football. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. We're late for a break. Let's go ahead and grab that. When we come back, we'll talk more about the NBA playoffs, what happened last night in the Eastern Conference Finals Game 1, and also preview tonight's Game 1 in the West. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
I've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith on the line at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And Ronnie, it's the season for the Memorial Day sales event.
It's time to rock, Randy, in your new 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. $25,889 or $389 a month. That's $5,206 off MSRP. How about a 2024 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive, packing up to 268 horsepower, plus 295 pound-feet of torque, $32,320, plus power up in our 2023 Dodge Charger SXT 4-door, $28,072. That's over $9,000 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike, or online anytime, GossettMotorcars.net.
All 75 months at 8.99 APR, 3,500 down, Renegade Triple P 56,520, MSRP 31,095, Charger PH 636,171, MSRP 37,120, Hornet R3A 152,64, MSRP 34,820. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments includes PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Memorial Day weekend is coming, which means many folks will be grilling. And if you're firing up the grill this weekend or any weekend, there's one place to go for everything you need: Memphis Barbecue Supply. You need charcoal? They have 10 different brands of either lump or briquette charcoal. Pellets? How about over 2 tons in stock? 12 different flavors and blends. Looking for wood for smoking? Memphis Barbecue Supply has 9 different types of wood in chips, chunks, mini logs, and logs. You can even mix and match your wood from their bins of loose chunks. Whatever it is that you're grilling, steaks, ribs, burgers, pork butts, you name it, they have over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and raw spices to make sure your food tastes great. If you have any questions, they have award-winning pitmasters on staff that can help ensure that your cook will be the best ever. Memphis Barbecue Supply, 7041 Stage Road, or online, mbbqsupply.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Anticipation is building for Memphis football.
3, 2, 1, that's your winner!
With a cast of returning stars ready for the big stage.
Caught! Rock Taylor! Touchdown Tigers!
The momentum for Memphis football is on the rise.
Harrigan into the end zone. Tiger touchdown. He just wouldn't be denied.
It's time to pounce. So purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGo.com.
What Genesis Diamonds has done to the local jewelry scene here is mind-blowing. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine. They have changed the game forever. Genesis has made all the other jewelers pretty much obsolete. They've got more diamonds at better prices. It's a selection up to 20 times more than anyone else has. They've got exclusive bridal designers that other stores aren't even allowed to carry. They've got no commission salespeople. They've got ironclad warranties and guarantees. And Genesis holds nothing back. They reveal the long-held secrets of the diamond business so you learn to buy like a dealer buys. No middleman markups, no retail pricing games, no pressure ever. Genesis has natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds in every shape and size, and they've got an amazing collection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes, all the models you can't find anywhere else. Genesis is the new, better, smarter way to buy jewelry in Memphis. Check them out, and you'll see why I say it is a game changer. Genesis Diamonds, on Poplar at Perkins Extended.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
All right, Brett, well, we've talked a lot about the game last night, and I want to come back to that, but I do want to start off with tonight's game, Western Conference Finals, Game 1, Dallas and Minnesota. I know our friend Johnny Radio earlier today said he loves the under in this one, so definitely likes defense
206.5 if you're scoring.
Woo, that's right, and he says a little betting tip from John is that if you wait a couple minutes after the game starts, it shoots up a couple points. And so then you can get in and have a little cushion, as John said earlier.
Oh, I love the betting tips.
A little
from
betting
John
tip.
Radio.
That's right. What do you expect tonight? What
Great.
What do you want to see in Game 1 from both these teams?
I want to see when Kyrie defers, and he's not as much a point of emphasis on the offensive end, who he defers to. Yeah. Because I don't think Minnesota can have the strategy of, okay, we'll give Luka his 40. Yeah. No, you can't do that. You got to try to limit it at about 31, 32, 33. Then if you're doing that, who gets the points? Is it P.J. Washington that you correctly noted weeks ago really stepping up in this series for Dallas? I think Minnesota's got the advantage here at every position, except for Luka.
Sure. No, yeah, I think, when you look at that last series where really Luka took over against OKC, I mean, it really, OKC's a great team, good team, but defensively they had their issues at times, and Minnesota, a much better defensive team, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they defend Dallas and how Dallas kind of reacts to that and what they do. So I'm excited to see that matchup tonight because you're right. I mean,
John likes the under, right?
He likes the under. That's right. Yes, absolutely.
I think I do too because even when Luka gets on that heater, it's so methodical how slow he is making it develop in the offensive end. It chews a lot of clock.
Yeah. No, you're right. And we've seen with Minnesota's defense how long they are, how athletic they are, how they've just got so many guys out there that it feels like can switch and guard multiple positions. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. And I think we talked a lot about Kyrie being used in different ways last year, so maybe he gets more of an emphasis in this series. I don't know. We'll see tonight.
Today is May 22nd. Next week, a week from today, is May 29th. That's 20 years on the nose till the last time that Minnesota hosted a Western Conference Finals game.
Wow.
20 years. And they had Kevin Garnett at the time and looked like future fairly optimistic to Rosie. What if the Grizzlies had to go 20 years from their lone Western Conference Finals appearance?
Man, that would
That's
be
2033.
Holy cow. Wow. Wow.
Did it in 2013.
Yeah.
Have to wait 20. I don't think we will, but I didn't think we'd wait this long in between them.
I certainly don't want to wait that long. I was thinking about that earlier in the playoffs when Minnesota wins their first series and you're saying first series win since 2004 and this and that and I was thinking about, I was like, man, Connor, my brother, was born in 2003. He was 1 year old the last time Minnesota even won a series, and he's about to start his junior year in college this coming up August. Like, that's a really long time. Like, I know 20 years sounds like a lot.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I mean, it's even crazier. So,
it really is.
So Minnesota deserves this, I think.
Guess where I was, Bryant, the last time Minnesota played in the Western Conference Finals?
Let me take a wild guess. Right here, Brett.
You got it.
That's right.
right here.
Always a safe bet.
Yeah. Right there in the nuclear bunker.
That's right, yes, which hopefully getting a little brighter outside, so not as much a nuclear bunker today.
Did we decide yesterday in our pick? So obviously you're for Dallas. You picked Dallas.
Yeah.
Leod and I both picked Minnesota. I'm for Minnesota. Made it clear yesterday why. And I'm just not a big fan of Mark Cuban, the raconteur, the showman. Mark Cuban, the owner, and I think I said this yesterday, lost in the criticism, was that he's been a great owner.
He has. He absolutely has. That's one thing you cannot take away from him, whether you like or don't like him, whether you like the off-the-court things he does, Shark Tank, whatever it be. He's been a great owner for the Mavericks.
I see A-Rod still around at T-Wolves games.
Yeah. He was there
I
Sunday
thought
night.
the deal was off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know he's trying to buy them with a group, and he's kind of the front man. He's not buying them.
No.
But he's got some money in, but he can't afford that.
Well, he's certainly there. You're right. He's certainly there Sunday night in that closeout game in Denver.
Almost in the middle of the victory scene.
Oh, yeah. No, he's very prominent.
Very prominent.
Very. So, who knows? Maybe.
And now J-Lo and Ben Affleck on the rocks. Maybe there could be some reconciliation with A-Rod.
Wow. Brett, I'll be honest. Wasn't familiar with the issues with J-Lo and Affleck.
I wasn't either till I saw it this morning on Entertainment something or another.
That's even better. That's great. Well, not good for them, but hey, maybe good for A-Rod. Who knows?
J-Lo likes to have those big weddings, though, doesn't she?
Sure does.
She's got another big one in her. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen J-Lo in a while. I hope she's doing all right.
You got any J-Lo in your iTunes?
I promise you I don't.
I can promise you that I do.
Do you really?
Yes.
What in the world do you have of J-Lo on your phone?
Her one hit. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm going to it now. I can't find the song. I can't find the song.
I have no clue what it might be.
98, 99, I can't think of the song without hitting it, and I don't know it has parental advisory. And
maybe don't do that. Don't do that. Well, I'm glad you have a little J-Lo on your iTunes. Was that the Pacers' one opportunity for a win over Boston?
It was the one in Boston.
Okay, I think you're right about that. I think you're right. But how many do you think they can get in total?
2.
Yeah. I think if they get
two, 3 and 4 in Indianapolis.
I think if they get 2, that's big for the Pacers, honestly, at this point.
Well, but you get that one in Boston, and then you can win it at home in 6.
Certainly. And that's what I'm saying.
I think I got all this math right.
I think
you got a lot of math coming at me.
We're not good with math, Brett, or at least I'm not. I can tell you that. But no, I think now, especially after what happened last night, I think you feel really good if you can win 2 in this series, because that almost felt like that could be a backbreaker. I mean, you lose a game like that where it felt like, everybody, you look at Tyrese Halliburton's reactions out there. He thought it was over. I think everybody thought that game was over. And that can do a lot to the morale and kind of the gusto of the team.
If You Had My Love by J-Lo. I found the title of the song.
How about that? Well, that's what we needed in this segment. Is
really did.
The fact that you have the fact that you know about J-Lo's relationship issues, that you have J-Lo on your phone, and then what song it was, because we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Love doesn't last forever.
Perfect basketball segment for sure, and J-Lo in there. I love it. But I am excited for tonight's game. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, a really interesting list over at the Sporting News. Our friend Bill Bender put it together. We talked last week. He ranked every single coach in college football. This week, top 25 quarterbacks in college football. So we'll take a look at that list, maybe who some of the local guys are that are on this list, certainly who's at the top. Let's get to a break, and we'll look at that list next on Sports Time.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
It's time to get to Gossett Kia on the Pike so Bobby J can put you in your new Kia today. Want summer fun and 41 MPG? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win? $249 a month. Get extra room and extra fun with 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing. All 24-month lease plus 0% APR for 48 months. Available on the all-new Kia EV9. And peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Include all rebates and incentives. Price excludes $695 PF. Lease includes PF $695, $650 acquisition fee, EV6 P5610964, MSRP $50,200, Telluride RG 510,849, MSRP $38,305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP $21,820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's Cool Cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or Cool Cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-212-1585. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-212-1585. 800-212-1585. 800-212-1585.
Not available in all states. Individual results will vary. Program qualification required.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. And I mentioned it, Bill Bender, our friend from the Sporting News, he joins us throughout the college football season, but he's been doing a lot of rankings over at the Sporting News. Last week, he did every coach in FBS ranking. This week, top 25 quarterbacks in 2024. I'll start with the top 5, and then we can bounce around a little bit and look at some other quarterbacks. And as always, if we need to come back to this a little bit later, we can, because I think it's some really good stuff in here. Number 1, Carson Beck, obviously at Georgia. 2, Quinn Ewers, Texas. 3, Dylan Gabriel, Oregon. 4, Shedeur Sanders, Colorado. 5, Jalen Daniels, Kansas. Jalen Milroe at 6, right behind him. What do you think about that top 5, Brett?
No big problem with it at all. I'm there on number 1. I thought Carson Beck was the best quarterback I saw in person last year. Only saw him one time, and that was in the Georgia route over Ole Miss. But he's all that. I'd have maybe Milroe ahead of Gabriel, but no big deal. And Shedeur Sanders, great player on a not great team.
Right.
As we go down, I'll steal the thunder.
Yep.
As Seth Hennigan, 24.
Yeah.
There's no world of college football that there's 23 better than Seth Hennigan. In fact, he has number 20, Drew Aller at Penn State. I saw Drew Aller, and I'm just not impressed with him physically, arm strength, anything, pocket presence, nothing. Now, it was one day, but I also watched him on television some, but I don't think he's better. Brady Cook, way too low at 19 at Mizzou.
Yeah.
And Tiger fans saw and know him, and SEC fans know. Heat of the moment, Nico, help me with pronunciation.
Yeah, we just call him Nico, Brett. I mean, try saying that.
Way too heat of the moment. To have him at 17, we think he's going to be good.
Sure.
He's probably going to be good. Seth Hennigan's been good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's a good point, and I'm with you on Seth. I'm with you on Brady Cook. I'll be honest, I wasn't shocked that Seth Hennigan was 24, group of 5 quarterback, whatever. I understand that. I think he should be higher, but it wasn't like complete shock. I was shocked that Brady Cook was 19. I really was.
Shocked. I think Seth Hennigan's better than DJU at 15. Yeah. Connor Wegman from A&M at 14. I think pretty good player. Here's one I love. Haynes King at 13 at Georgia Tech. I would have him way higher than that.
Well, Brett, another one you mentioned that I know different conference now, but same conference last year, Preston Stone. I would put Seth Hennigan above Preston Stone. I think Preston Stone's a great quarterback, but I'd put Seth ahead of him.
I would too. Has Jackson Dart 7th. That's one behind Milroe, one ahead of Cam Ward at Miami. That's about right. Maybe a peg, one or two max. He's in the top 10. He may not be 7, but he's not 10th, but he's not 5th either.
Right.
So by and large, I think that's about right for him. And for Dart to move up, that means he would have to top Milroe at Alabama, Daniels at Kansas. He can do that.
Yep.
Sanders at Colorado. He can do that because of supporting cast and team. Gabriel, Ewers, and Beck they all feel like they're going to be in the Elite Eight at worst, maybe Final Four of college football.
Yeah, I mean, those top three are really good, and I think are going to be on really good teams. I mean, we've seen what Oregon has done these past couple of years with some really good quarterback play.
We're not going to fall out with Bill Bender over his list, are we?
Absolutely not. No way.
We're not even giving him a chance to defend him either.
Which maybe we should. Maybe we should. But I thought a really, really fun list to look at. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, John Goen joins us to talk some golf.
Are you looking for a better way to sell farm,